FOG Andrew here, and the coach here for Family Gamers. Welcome, War Gamers, to an exciting, awesome live stream. We got two very famous, very infamous, very amazing special guests. We got John and we got Jeremy. What's up, y'all?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
What's up, guys? All right, so we are just bringing you some Marvel Crisis Protocol goodness. And
like every week.
Yeah. Every week, basically. But actually, this week we have news. Last week we had no news. Actually, we didn't do it last week, but 2 weeks ago we had no news. So brought these two guys on because they are in the play group that is now expanded. So it was the two of us. Now it's the four of us. Therefore, we've doubled our membership. So there you go. Okay. Although they don't have the snazzy T-shirts like us.
Yet.
Yeah. Well, I told you got to be on a battle report. That's the only way to get it.
Well, you have to stop dodging me, and we'll get a game in.
You invited me to your house, and then I said, "Oh, do you want to play?" And you go, "Oh, no, you play Jeremy first," and then you threw Mike at me. So,
yeah, I gotta get you the light games in.
What was the record of everybody at the house that day? I was just wondering.
I don't remember. Those are a long time ago.
Those stats are unimportant. So
yeah, stop living in the past. We gotta live in the future.
Jeremy understood that don't kill Black Bolt early. Black Bolt single-handedly killed Wolverine and Cable in, I think, one round.
Yeek.
Jeremy, you're muted, I think. Yes. I don't know, John, can you hear him?
I cannot hear him.
How about now? Nope.
He ruined it.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
There we go.
So, John, I was just reiterating the fact that Black Bolt killed Wolverine and Cable.
Yeah, I had a tough time with Cable. Cable's a great character. And when you're playing like a mass pile-in group, you don't want to do that with Cable around.
No. Well, you know what you do? You hit him with a beam attack from, three size 3 away. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to use MODOK against him next time or something like that.
Oh, wait. We have a legend in the house here.
Uh-oh.
Trainaholic. What's up, Bill? What's up, Sue? How are you? They are the residents how to go to a thrift store and make terrain for a whole table. They are the ones that you have to go to.
Oh.
Yes, Terrainaholic. I've been a fan of them. I don't know. How long were we subscribed to them?
How long have we done the channel for?
I don't know, like 87 years or something like that. So, but ready? Let's move on.
All right, so we got a bunch of stuff to talk about. Kind of a bunch of stuff. But they have put out 3 Team Tactic cards and Jean Grey's character card. And this is very important because the Team Tactic cards are things that I actually care about.
All right. Well,
that's why it's important.
Well, let's start off with Jean Grey, shall we?
We're gonna do the mutants first.
What's that?
We're doing the mutants first?
Yes, we're going to do that first.
All right.
Boom. There she is. All right, so Jean Grey's, her alternate eagle is Jean Grey. Yes, her eagle. And she is a 6 health, moves medium, size 2, and she is a 5 threat. Wow, 5 threat. So now, I don't know if you guys have seen this before. We have not. We always do it the night of. And she's a 3/4/5 across the board. Wow, that's the first time. 3/4/5, and she's, like I said, 5 threat. And her first attack is Psionic Bolt.
So range 4, 5 dice, 0 power, a classic no powered attack. After the attack is resolved, you gain power equal to the damage dealt, and she can sap power, which is before damage dealt. The target character loses 1 power for each wild in the attack roll, and then that character gains that much power. So it's not only sap power, but also you get power equal to the damage dealt.
So it's like a parasite almost, like you sap it and then she's getting it. That's on a 4 for 0.
And it's also against blue defense.
Oh yeah, it's mystical. A mystical attack.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, she's going to need it because when you get to the next attack, you're going to understand why.
Oh yeah.
All right, so then we'll get to telekinetic force, which is a physical attack. Range 3, 9 whole dice for 6 power. Before damage is dealt, if the target character is size 4 or less, this character may throw the target character away small. And then on a wild, she gets explosive, which is before damage is dealt. Other enemy characters within range 2 of the target character suffer 1 damage. That is insane on 9 dice.
So, Jeremy, what do you think about that?
Oh, I love it.
Because I know you're the resident mutant player here.
Yeah, she reminds me a lot of her son, especially that Sonic Bolt, because his pulse rifle is very similar.
Right.
So and the telekinetic force is going to be brutal against anybody who tries to run a castle against her.
Yeah,
I think Iron Man has that, and War Machine has that. Where he
yes, and also Bob has that as well on his missile.
And also Guardians have that, like within 2. You know, that's so it's other enemy characters. So it's so basically it's an area attack from 3 away.
From whoever you're shooting at. Yeah.
Right. Wow. All right. That's but 6 dice. I mean 6 power, 9 dice. All right.
It's a lot of power for 9 dice. Well, I mean 9 dice is already a lot, but even better, you're 9 dice. Like, what are the chances of not getting wilds? You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little.
Sure. I don't know. I see this. I see the 6 power that you're going to be using in a physical attack, and with so many of the characters now having physical defense that people are playing, I actually see you using the power more for the abilities. And when we go over those, you might see why.
And I'm just noticing because she has 3 abilities that cost power, and altogether that is 8 more power to spend altogether on that stuff too.
Right.
So, which is what, 14 power altogether.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, max being 10. I feel like it's kind of hard to, it might be hard to balance everything, but we'll see what else.
Well, you're gonna have to pick and choose.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to time it well. You're gonna have to use your Sonic Bolt strategically.
And especially, and then with the first attack, it being free, you could. I feel like that's just going to get you a lot of power.
Well, you know what? 5 strength 5 on a psychic power, which is usually most characters' least amount of dice. You know what I mean? Is usually you get like 3-3-3 or like 3-4-2. So psionics is like the least amount. So I think she could pretty much. That's what she's going to gain her power, and then sapping the power is going to do it also.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I have a feeling you're going to use the psionic bolt, then use a couple powers, and then psionic bolt again. And then if you still have powers left, or do something else where you're interacting with terrain or doing some other abilities afterwards.
Yeah, you would use telekinetic force if everybody is together.
Yeah, it's going to be that home run hit that once per game you might get that chance.
Yeah. Right. So we're all in agreement. Psionic Bolt, which is really good, is still going to probably be her number 1 go-to, unless we get to these next 3. So next one is Battlefield Manipulation.
3 power. Choose an interactive terrain feature of size 4 or less within range 3 and throw it medium. And you can only use it once per turn.
See, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, size 4 or less.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't see too many with size 4s, and it going medium gives it some good range. So when you're using that Sonic Bolt at range 4, that medium's going to get pretty close to that too.
It's also within range 3.
Mm-hmm.
Range 3 and medium.
Right. So it's almost like a size from the terrain feature. It's like a 5. You're moving it with the 3 plus medium. That's all right, and that's only 3 power. That's pretty good. So
then she has matter transmutation. Choose another character with an activated token within range 2 and push it small. A character can be moved by this superpower only once per turn for 3 power. So does this mean that you can do that on multiple people, but that you can only do it once per other character?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. So if you need to clear an objective, that's going to come in really handy.
Right.
Yeah.
And it doesn't say you can also push you could push either an ally or an enemy. So if you just got to move somebody up to get it, say you have someone who moves small and move that person up, or maybe just that person is activated, but move them up to help you contest or maybe win the objective. That's very, very
or set up for the next turn also.
Yeah, absolutely. Get those small moving characters, just move them up a little, like a free move action. And then the last one we have is Shield Mind.
2 power when this character or an allied character within range 4 of it would be advanced, placed, or pushed by the effects of an enemy mystical attack or enemy superpower. You may use the superpower. The allied character is not advanced, placed, or pushed.
All right, that's a mouthful. So, allied character within 4, if it would be advanced, placed, or pushed by an enemy effect. So if something's going to affect it, like,
only a mystical effect.
Yeah.
Only mystical attack from the superpower may use this superpower. The allied character is not advanced, placed, or pushed. So basically, that's okay. I mean, that's very
well, no, I mean, like that would counteract if somebody else was trying to use something like matter transmutation on one of your guys.
Right.
Yeah, it's not super strong against an army that obviously doesn't have something like that, but with someone who does, it's that threat of like, hey, if you do this, I'm going to spend 2 power and stop it.
You know what? I think this is setting up too, because right now that's some stuff that like Wong and Doctor Strange use, but I think with Blade and Moon Knight coming out, they might have some potential for chicanery and mystical stuff.
Well, you got to think they just dropped Cable. You've got Jean Grey. You've got Cassandra Nova coming out.
Right.
And then eventually they're going to do Xavier. So the potential for a lot more mystical and superpower moving characters is going to be really high. So having something like that on the field to counteract that is going to be very important.
I always thought, though, going into the game, I guess more the psychic powers are going to be more mystical, but a psychic power to me is like would be an energy attack. I mean, just thinking about it, and mystical is magic. So I think they're lumping them together in this mystical.
Yeah, I think psychic and mystical are going to be interchangeable.
Right.
Going forward.
Yeah. But that's okay. So I could see this is, to counteract stuff, but she's got 3 really good things. You're going to have to really choose. And then what's her last thing?
Latent psychic potential. During the power phase, she gains an additional power. So it's like you're getting 2 power per power phase, and you have that really good sapping power attack.
Right.
Yeah, with the Sonic Bolt and that, she's going to have the power that she's going to need to use those other abilities.
Yeah.
And she can fly.
Of
course. And then what do we got on the other side?
On the other side, let's see. So she goes up to 7. So she goes from 6 to 7. And it seems like everything's the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like everything's the same. That's good health margin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now she is a 5 threat. So now we're back. So she is a 5 threat. So that's like, I mean,
you got to think though, the X-Men are not very threat high.
Right.
So unless you're bringing any of the newer X-Force characters, Cyclops, Wolverine, you're gonna fit her into that list, no problem.
Yeah. Yeah, but even like Wolverine is a 4 threat.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? So Jeremy, your overall, I know we'll go to you first since you are the mutant dude.
I'm ecstatic for her. I can't wait.
Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm hoping that she puts a really good punch into the X-Men list, and I think she might with that Psionic Bolt and Telekinetic Force combo.
Now, is that something they're missing?
It feels like it, yeah. I don't, in my opinion, I don't think X-Men really have any standout individual character yet, and I think Jean Grey might do that.
Right. And now with Cassandra Nova coming out, is she? I think she's gonna be an enemy. She's probably one of the for the Brotherhood. But,
yeah.
They haven't announced where she's gonna be, right?
No.
Because I know today they just dropped the panel to play.
For Cassandra?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't even seen that yet.
Yeah, and they were just basically like, if Charles Xavier was a character, she'd be the complete opposite of him.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's another thing too. I'm wondering, what do you think about if they're ever going to bring out Charles Xavier?
I wouldn't be surprised if they do, and if he's the first Threat 7 character on the board.
Right.
Ooh.
See, I could see that.
Yeah.
I was, you could very easily do Charles Xavier and Onslaught in a 2-pack and make Onslaught the raid, and that would be a fantastic 2-pack.
Right. I see him though on his own though. Kind of,
Yeah, I mean there's so many ways that they could play these characters now, and they you see it with coming out with multiple iterations of them. If Xavier comes out and he's dropped as a single model, the way that Omega Red and Mr. Sinister are, I think he's definitely going to be a very high threat enemy.
Right. Yeah, definitely 6, but like I see what you're saying with 7, that would be pretty cool. That would be something different. So, John, what are you thinking?
I don't think they're going to go with a 7. I think they're going to try to keep that for raids or something else. I think they're going to try to stay at 6 at the highest level, let characters be played. They like that sweet point where models are played 5 in the list. Sometimes you can get that 6 or the 4, but putting them at 7 really limits the other models you can put in. And I'm not sure they want to do that just yet.
Yeah.
Well, is it the lowest threat crisis card you can get is like 13 or 14? I think
14.
So that would, going 7 threat would put a dent into an X-Men list, having Xavier.
But I think if that's the case, if you're going to play a 14 threat, you wouldn't take a 7 threat.
I mean, of course. If you're on a 14 threat, I'd even be shaky about taking a 5 threat at that point. You want bodies on the board.
Right.
Yeah, but even at the high one, what's the high one? So 20 is the highest?
20,
Yeah.
I think.
Right.
I mean, 7 is still just wow. Like,
yeah, but
he would have to do everything. He would have to do more than 2 characters.
Like that's what I'm saying. The potential for Charles Xavier is there to warrant a 7 threat character having an impact on the board.
Yeah, and I think they'll put that in for a raid or something like that. I don't know if they'll put it into the main game.
Yeah.
Something to think about. And it's crazy too. We were just discussing, me and Hot Dice were discussing it, that Colossus and the Juggernaut have been in affiliation lists for a long time, and we have there is no hide or hair of them. They're kind of like they're kind of AWOL.
Yeah.
So it's crazy because like all these cool characters and stuff are coming out, but the stuff that they haven't released yet, or
Uh-oh. I think I lost him.
Yep. They'll be back, and in greater numbers.
What's even funnier is I think he's frozen on his site, but we're still live, so we can keep it going. I mean, Juggernaut would obviously be really good. Oh, not. I have an echo. Okay. So I think that Xavier might come out at the same time. They might bring out Juggernaut or something like that. That would be a good timeline because they interact a lot in the comics, so I could see that happening later on.
Aren't they related, if I'm not mistaken?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know that.
I feel like they are. But that having been said, I mean, off the top of my head, I know with the Amazing Spider-Man release that shores up a lot of the affiliation blanks that have been out there for a while. Black Cat, and I think outside of Juggernaut, Colossus, the only ones that really come to my mind are Iron Spiders, was listed on the Adventures card.
Okay.
That should be it, if I remember correctly.
So we're hopefully catching up with whatever they intended to be doing with character rosters at this point.
Yeah. And then do we have any speculation of what's coming out after that?
I honestly have no idea. I know there was the big leak in December, and we're just about caught up. The only thing still outstanding from that leak was the Dormammu Ultimate Encounter and Sentinel Raid.
Okay.
So, presumably Dormammu is going to be coming out at the same time as Blade and Moon Knight, which should be August. So, you know, they've lately been putting out 3 releases a month, practically.
Yeah.
So, you know, figure doing an Ultimate Encounter and a 2-character box makes sense for August. And then potentially September, you could see a complete slate of stuff that we just hadn't expected yet.
So I feel like they've been doing a lot of catch-up in the last few months from everything obviously that happened the last year and a half. Do you think they're going to still be putting out this many models in the future as, like, the months come in for, like, the end of this year and to next year?
I mean, at some point, it's going to be a question of, are they going to be able to keep this momentum with interesting characters? I mean, going to Sandra Nova for a release after 18 months is
they're back.
Is a deep cut. So they're definitely trying to avoid, just having the mainstay characters just constantly come out. But there's still a ton that they can pull from. So there's nothing stopping them from dropping 3 boxes a month for the next 3 years and still have plenty of content to keep going.
Yeah, and then just switching up some costumes and just adding some different abilities of cards could just go there too.
Yep.
We're back.
We're back.
They are back.
Hi, guys.
Too much talent for this show.
I think talk amongst yourselves was good. Good thing we have you guys on. But yeah. All right. So
it's slightly better than Dead Air, though. So
just well, I'll go back and review it and I'll give you guys some notes. So, all right. So Andrew's very excited because they revealed not 1, not 2, but 3 tactic cards for the Web Warriors. Now they're not all for the Web Warriors. They're for Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man. I'm sorry, and Black Cat.
Actually, not Amazing Spider-Man, Peter Parker. So in theory, it should work with either Spider-Man.
Okay.
That are released core and this one.
So if you're a Web Warrior, you should be tickled pink.
I just want to make note that I barely use Team Tactic cards, so this is exciting for me.
Well, you know what? We rarely use the Team Tactic cards, and was it? I don't know if it was either Jeremy or Mike, but I used one at the last second, and it worked out really well for me.
You were trying to figure out how to get those last 2 points in our game,
right?
And it's like you could just end your turn and win with 2 points just from scoring objectives. And you were trying so hard to use your Team Tactic cards. I was impressed.
Smoke him if you got him.
Yeah, really.
All right, so here we go. We're gonna use. We're gonna go over the first one, which is
Aunt May's wheat.
Ant-Man wheat cakes. Wheat cakes. So what is it?
So it is specifically for the Web Warriors. Any number of allied Web Warrior characters may spend 1 power to play this card. Characters that spend power to remove this. Characters that spend power. Remove the slow special condition and remove 1 wound.
So basically, every single Web Warrior can play 1 power to remove 1 wound.
And it actually seems pretty good because I don't have to be within 3 of somebody.
No, it's just everybody.
Yeah. This is an easy include into any list. It's 1 power to remove 1 wound. I mean, you do this all the time with other characters. It was an easy input into your list.
I mean, it's funny because when you look at the banned ones and the restricted ones, all of them are like replacing, getting wounds back, like patch up or med kit. And now this one, albeit just 1 wound, that's huge. That's the difference between being KO'd or.
Well, keep in mind, that's 1 wound on every Web Warrior in your list potentially.
Right.
So that's crazy.
Yeah.
And also the slow special condition, which is, whatever, but,
But then again, most of the Web Warriors move long, so if you have the slow special condition, that might be a killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why this is an auto include. You're going to remove that one damage that's on your characters where it's needed, but if you do have that slow condition, it's just that added bonus. And I don't think this would be added to the banned or restricted list because it's only for Web Warriors. So it's not like every list is going to be taking this. It's only going to be Web Warriors.
Right. I think the reason they do put the restricted on med pack and patch up is so they can do stuff like this, so that you're not cheesing how much healing you're doing, but they can do fun stuff specific to certain affiliations.
Right, and it seems like this is like going forward that if you take, that's why you want to take Web Warriors because they have this card, and it's like you said, it's not, it'll auto include if you're a Web Warrior, but if you're playing, let's say, Guardians of the Galaxy, well, this card is not appealing to you.
Yeah.
No.
And what's good is you could take it with either leader. It's not special to that, but even though Miles isn't his thing really like
well, I do like Miles's
his
affiliation ability more, but
right. So all right, so that's one. And let's go to what was the next one?
The Cat and the Spider.
Is it T?
I love this card.
T.
Yeah, it's under T, the Cat and the Spider.
Right there. Up.
I can't see. You
right
can't see
there,
right there. All right, here we go. So it is the Cat and the Spider unaffiliated. Go ahead, Andrew.
So if Peter Parker is within, or it's an active card, so you do it on your turn. If Peter Parker is within range 2 of an allied Black Cat, both characters may spend 1 power each to play this card. Throw the allied Black Cat medium. Black Cat does not suffer collision damage during this throw. After the throw is resolved, Black Cat may immediately interact with any number of objective tokens without spending power. That's pretty good.
So now
that is an awesome turn 1.
So we were just talking about ordering because he's going to do. Obviously, he's a Web Warrior player, and I was saying Amazing Spider-Man. He says I definitely have to get Amazing Spider-Man, but I don't want to play Black Cat. And I said, well, wait till you see this card that she's got. And
yeah, now I got to take Black Cat.
Yeah.
I mean, she's only 3 points.
She's 3 threat.
I'm sorry,
She's 3 threat.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Don't get it twisted.
I'm sorry.
All right.
And she's a very good 3 threat. I mean, she's more useful in the 2 threat area where it's more like just holding the objectives or stealing the objectives. But I would assume, based on the card that we're reading, that you could throw her at an enemy. She takes no damage, but the enemy would roll defense dice for her 2+1.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wasn't too crazy about Black Cat when we talked about her. And I was just kind of like, I kind of just want the box for Amazing Spider-Man. But, if I take this card, I think it'll work better. And also, like Jeremy said before, Peter Parker, you take the other Peter Parker.
Right. You take either or.
Yeah.
Doesn't say Amazing Spider-Man.
So you could take Miles Peter, core box Peter, and then Black Cat using this card.
Yeah.
And I could see you playing this card. I could see you playing this card with Peter Parker in the Criminal Syndicate.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I like that. I like that one.
Black Cat, 1, she has a long move, and 2, she already has the positioning with the grappling hook, so she can move across the board, no problem in a turn.
Yeah, and using her ability to steal the objectives from the opponent, they're playing Hulk or someone, or She-Hulk, something big that you just can't get the objective marker from.
Right.
Now she just steals it, gets that citizen, you give it to one of your other characters on Criminal Syndicate, and bounce it around. I mean, that's easy ways to steal points.
Right.
See, now I'm liking Black Cat now.
Yeah. But she could do that. She has a lot of those abilities. She's not a very offensive character, but she's more of a right tool in the right place type character.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, this is a really good card. So,
yeah, especially if you're making your game where, if, like, let's say you're playing your tournament or something like that, where you're picking in your roster 1 by 1, and you're seeing the roster they're picking is like Hulk or She-Hulk or big characters that are going to be hard to like steal things off of. That's when you're like, all right, Black Cat, I'm going to bring her in towards the end, and that's going to be your method of trying to win those games.
Yeah. Or you could play this, have Mr. Sinister in there bringing a clone of her.
Mm.
That would work. We do have Mr. Sinister.
We do have Mr. Sinister.
Yes. He's still in the box. So, any other thoughts on this before we move on?
No.
I think we're good. So far, so good.
I think so.
And then next thing is the
Spider
tracker.
Right there. Bottom. All the way to the bottom. Right there.
You know what it is the camera's in the way. So, all right, spider tracker.
Say that it's an illusion.
Yeah.
All right. This is for the web warriors. It is reactive, and after an enemy character ends a move action within range 4 of an allied web warrior character, that allied character may spend 2 power to play this card. This character may advance small. So anyway, so anything else come out or?
Well, you know what?
No.
This is very. this is one of those things about Crisis Protocol that I've noticed a lot. It's so wordy, and it's so situational. So an enemy character makes a move action within 4 of an allied web warrior character. That allied character may spend 2 to move small. It's like it's.
Well, it's basically doing what the web warriors want. The web warriors are the team's going to run away. They're going to hide. They're going to get behind terrain, get cover. And this is basically saying, if you get close to me, you're within 4 of one of my guys, and they have 2 to spend. They're going to spend it and get out of range.
Right.
I mean, 4 is pretty long too. It's not range 2 or 3 or whatever. It's 4.
Yeah, and that could be after their first movement. They could just make their first movement, be within 4, and you're like, you know what? Here's my 2. I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's, web warriors have always been about, you're playing that cup and ball trick with the entire affiliation. Everybody's moving each other around, but they're pushing and pulling. And Spider Tracker, I think you're going to see Spider Tracker as much as Ant-Man's Weak Cakes in a web warrior list.
Yeah, the movement's so important with those lists. I don't know how they are with the power. I don't know if they're going to have the 2 to spend, especially in the early part of the game, but I can definitely tell you at the later end when they're running away trying to keep that 1 point in their hands, that's what they're going to be using.
Yeah. Well, now when you got guys like Quicksilver who could reach out and touch him now, who actually catch him, this would be important,
Absolutely.
And it's annoying too when somebody's going to walk up and like, all right, I'm at range 4 exactly. I'm going to shoot you with, wait, hold on, I'm going to play this card, and you get just out of that range. That's annoying. Oh.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about playing Loki, just being able to just bail out of an attack.
Yeah. That's what is that Trickster? Or,
yeah.
That's so this is basically Loki's ability, but on a card.
Basically, yeah. It's some strong cards.
No, it's actually better because it's not even a question because Loki has to be targeted by an attack. This is if an opponent just moves into range 4 of you, they don't even have to target you yet. They just have to move into range 4. Right. So you can choose when to use that. If they're not going to attack you, you may not need to use it yet.
Right. But it says this character may advance small. Does that mean he has to go towards that character? Because it doesn't say move. It just says advance.
No, can't you advance in any direction?
I believe so.
Yeah. See, that's why
my understanding is you can advance in any direction. It's just you're using a small template.
Yeah. I just, that's one of those things like that's what we were having.
Push or pull is in a specific direction.
Right.
That's when you're going to use that L-shaped.
Yes.
Looking at what's going on. And again, this isn't model specific, so any one of your web warriors that are in trouble or look like they're going to be threatened, you just pull them out of range.
Yep.
Yeah, that's I got to tell you, that's 3 really strong cards. Usually sometimes you get like 1 or 2, and then the other one's a stinker. These all 3 of these are really good.
Yep.
Yeah.
I see this is kind of the way moving forward, but I know about me and him playing a lot of these cards. You're actually better at it than I am. Playing the tactic cards is sometimes you forget, and then something happens like, oh, I had this great card, I should have used it. So, but these, you have to make sure you know when to use them or when to actually have them come out and be focused on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what are you thinking?
I mean, I feel like just taking Web Warriors, I would definitely do Aunt May's Wheat Cakes and the Spider Tracker and leave out the Cat and the Spider. Go with Criminal Syndicate and do Black Cat, and then throw the 3-point. Is Peter Parker in the core box 3 or 4 points?
It's 4.
He is
3, I believe.
He's 4.
It's 4?
Is he 4?
Only if there's a way to check out.
Let's see. Let's see if we can get to it first.
Go, 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 go,
Where are
go,
we?
go. Scroll down all the way.
Spider-Man?
Huh. Right there. You went
Right.
3.
Yeah, he's 3.
He's
No,
3.
not that one.
Let's go,
No,
Spider.
I know he is 4.
No, he's 4.
Yeah, he's 4. Miles was 3.
Oh, Miles.
That's weird. Miles is 3 and Peter's 4. All right.
I like Miles better than
Yeah,
Peter.
Miles is
Or
such
Miles.
a better character.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, that brings up another thing that I'd like to bring up, a tactic or a thing with the game. All right, so you got Spider-Man, all right, from the core box. He's 4. Also, another character which I love, but he has his issues, is Daredevil, is also a 4. And when you look around the things, like Daredevil basically is a glass hammer. Spider-Man, the same thing as a glass hammer, but they're both 4 threat. And you get someone like, like who am I looking at? Corvus. All right. Corvus is a 4 threat. It's the same as Daredevil and Spider-Man, but I feel far superior to them. What do you guys think of that as far as the balance? It seems like I don't know, like the core boxes was kind of the play test, and now that the new stuff is coming out, they're not relevant. It's hard to take some of those core guys.
No, I actually understand what you're saying. I mean, you're talking about power creep at that point.
Correct. Well, not power creep, but like, is it the right place, the right Daredevil, I think should be a 3, not a 4.
Yeah, I would agree with that because I feel like if you're looking at those 3 characters, out of all of them, I feel like Daredevil is the weakest. I think Spider-Man is probably the most consistent out of those when it comes to being a 4 threat. In terms of how he can perform on the board. And then your third example is Corvus.
Corvus Glaive, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you also can't really take them in a vacuum that much. Everybody's got their strengths and weaknesses, and I don't know.
Well, I think what they were doing is because like Cap and Iron Man and Spidey from the core box are like all okay, but then they came out with Sam and War Machine and Amazing Spider-Man or like the Black Widow, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., like the kind of like upgraded versions of those characters, you know what I mean? I guess to like better them a little bit, and change them.
Well, honestly, I think Steve Rogers' Captain America is pretty solid where he's at. I think he's a really good representation of Steve Rogers, and I think that he is power-wise like exactly where Captain America needed to be. I was actually really surprised at how underpowered Iron Man was.
Right.
To begin with, but then the logic being they're going to come out with however many Iron Man suits that they need to do, because you got to think from the comics, they've got a ton of them. So yeah, the next one you might see Bleeding Edge or Prime Armor or Extremis Armor, and that is where you'll see Threat 4, Threat 5 Iron Man,
Right.
and that leaves the potential in there to be, upgraded without totally dismantling the original core box Iron Man. I don't think War Machine and Iron Man are that different on paper. I think War Machine is a really solid beat stick. I don't foresee a moment where I would ever choose Iron Man over War Machine though, because I feel like War Machine is just that much better.
Right.
To what to like what you were saying about more or less power creep. But if you're taking that thematic list of I want to run an Armor Wars team. Here's Iron Man. Here's War Machine. Hopefully they start releasing more characters. Iron Spider, when you guys were cut out, me and John were talking about it, Iron Spider might be the only one outside of who we were talking about with Colossus and Juggernaut that still has been mentioned on an affiliation card and hasn't gotten a model.
Right.
So, can we see? I mean, you could do an entire month's release of just Iron Man characters.
Well, that's what we were saying. Like, so I don't know. A few shows ago, we were talking about where you would come out with, say, rescue.
Yep.
And we were saying, oh, maybe make her a 3-threat, but she's really a support character.
Yeah.
And
if you play her like Spider-Gwen, where she's throwing out shields for other characters, 100%.
Yeah. Or she could heal, but it's not healing like healing the body per se, but she's healing the suits of armor.
Yeah.
And it only works on another suit of armor or something like that. She's very situational. So I know you weren't too crazy about that, but
well, I was just saying, like, how many Tony Starks would they do for an Iron Legion, or how many suits would they do? I know there's a lot, but I feel like it would be overboard to do like so many. And if they were to do like other characters, like, yeah, they could do Rescue. I don't know what else.
Dynamo, maybe?
Well, Crimson Dynamo.
Well, I mean, if you think of it in terms of you could do a new Tony Stark. So let's put him in the Prime Armor, and you release him with Iron Spider. And if you put him in the Prime Armor right there, that's your Iron Legion affiliation and leader. And then you have Iron Spider release with him. You have Rescue. Or hell, you put Iron Man on his own and release a Hulk Buster with him.
right.
Or Thor Buster, or any of the Buster armors that you want to pull out. There's tons of potential, and that's not even touching any of his villains. So you could pull out Whiplash, you could pull out Crimson Dynamo, you could pull out Gargoyle. There's a ton of options for doing Iron Man, and it's surprising that they haven't touched it. But I think that's just because Iron Man is such a popular character in the MCU. They don't need to touch him just yet.
Right. Yeah. So getting back to the core box, though, who do you think is still good in the core box? I like taking Zemo.
Zemo, Taskmaster.
Well, no, wait, core box.
Core box. Okay.
Yeah.
I think
What the core box is.
Zemo, I think Captain America is still pretty solid. I think Captain Marvel has her place, but I think people have figured out just, you don't attack her unless you're going outright to daze her.
Right.
And then outside of that, Spider-Man has his place in a Web Warriors list, but that's probably about it.
I think I've done Criminal Syndicate, and I've done Spider. Did I do Spider Foes yet? No, I don't think I did Spider Foes yet.
No.
I've done Cabal and Crime Syndicate, and I've taken Doc Ock, and I actually think Doc Ock is not bad for 3 because he's just picking up stuff and throwing stuff all the time.
Yeah, he's like a really good 3-threat.
I think Doc Ock is like just a solid average 3-threat, character. I think he's pretty good, like coming out of the core box.
Crossbones as well is actually not bad, and I know with Sin, she made him kind of give him a new lease on life.
Yeah.
I wasn't too crazy about Crossbones taking him. I think with Criminal Syndicate, I took him.
I don't like his speed.
Yeah,
just being slow with a small base just takes a while to get there.
Yeah.
I kind of like Ultron in the core box. I don't think he's terrible for only 4. I think he's 4.
He's a 4-threat. Yeah. Ultron's definitely.
Double check that.
And then he has that tactic card that brings him back to life too, right?
Yeah.
I've never had to use that, and I've taken Ultron a good amount of times, but
Yeah, Ultron's a 4-threat.
But then again, you take Ghost Rider, although he's 5, he's got the same card where you could bring him back,
Yeah.
But then again, he replaces a character. So, you're going to have to sacrifice one guy for that.
Bye-bye Wong.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was going to say. And Wong is you know, and you know what's the worst thing? Every time I play Wong, he does work. Wong is by far the MVP of every game I've used him in.
What, hiding behind a building, holding objective by himself?
You know what? But you know, before he did that, healing people, taking stuff off them, it's like, you know. Yeah,
he's a good 2-threat.
Yeah, that's that. See, like Wong is a perfect 2-threat. He really is. You know, because like if you're attacking him, things are going sideways.
He's never the first guy you put in your list, but he's always the last.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he's the one like, I have 2 left. What should I do? Oh, wait a minute. You know, or if it's like you have 1 left, you're like, all right, I'm going to take out this 4th threat, and I'm going to put a 3 and a 2, and I'll have 2 extra guys in there.
Yeah, in your 10 roster, you have to have at least 1-2 in there, and he's one of the strongest ones. I like him and Toad. Toad is another one that interacts really well.
Fantastic 2-threat.
Yeah. Toad is good because you can move the objectives around.
Yeah.
That's a nice thing for free. You know, you don't even have to spend an action to do it. You know. I know we were when we did a video, we were talking about Toad, and somebody made this thing out, you know, why should I buy Magneto when it comes to Toad? But Toad is actually really good for the threat value. He's definitely worth it, right? And what's Toad? Toad is 3, right?
2.
Toad is 2, even better.
Yeah.
Even better. See, I thought that guy, he should be a 3 threat, you know?
That's how good he is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So now, getting back to my original question, you got Daredevil at 4. You know, why is he at 4? Is it because of Devil's Deliverance, or you know? I mean, I play him a lot, and I've got to use him a bunch of times. But you know, I mean, he's got 3 attacks. 2 of them are 0 threat. I'm sorry, 0 power. Devil's Deliverance is 5, but it's not a big deal. The only difference is like the Man Without Fear is pretty good. It's a superpower. You know, you could use it when the attacker is within 2. You can get a free strike against him. But then when you flip the card over, he's got the Devil of Hell's Kitchen, which is it's 2 power, but you can perform any 0 attack of the character within 2. But if you take a skull, it gives you you suffer a wound. So, you know, I'm wondering why. I'm wondering why he's still a 4 threat. I don't, and he's only 3s across the board. He's got a 5 and then a 6 threat when he's injured. I'm sorry, 6 health when he's injured. So, you know, I'm wondering what the thinking is.
Are there any tactic cards that make him particularly exceptional?
There's no specific Daredevil tactic card. It's just you know, like team affiliations and stuff. So
I think between Devil's Deliverance and the fact that he can move long, which not too many characters can do, I think that what makes him a 4. If you put him at a medium or small, I could see him going to a 3. But the fact that he can move long, that might have pushed him over that edge, that threshold to make him into a 4.
But I gotta tell you though, Devil's Deliverance is really a task to pull off because it's only in area 2.
Yeah,
and you know, like the last time Andrew and I played, he had Doc Ock on the objective. I come flying in, I do Devil's Deliverance, and I cause no wounds, but I push Doc Ock small off the objective far enough away where I can claim the objective for myself. So that's really only where it's good, you know, and it's a 5 threat
Power.
5 power, 2. But you know, I mean, if there's 1 guy there, it's only 4 dice.
Yeah.
You know, so mainly the thing is to get him to push somebody off an objective. That's where I see it coming in handy. But you know, other than that, you know, he's really not. You know, other than Baton Hook, which it could push, does not benefit from cover. I mean, that's a really good attack. You know, 4 for 4 threat. But you know, that's one of those things. He bounces the baton off of 6 things and hits you around the corner with it. That's where, you know.
Yeah.
So, but
yeah, I think John might have hit the nail on the head with the long move.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is really rare to see in the game. And having 3 attacks, 2 of them which cost nothing with a long move, might be what warranted him being put at a 4.
Well, it's 2 0 attacks. The other one is 5 power.
Right. So, but that's 3 attacks at that point. That
Yeah.
could be potentially devastating. Yeah, especially when you run in with web warriors. If you can pull enough characters, enough enemy characters into his Devil's Deliverance range, yeah, that you get a lot of bang for your buck there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice when you can surround with 3 guys and each guy gets 8 dice on them.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an area beam almost.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to just protect him a little bit. Try to get him next to like Cap or something like that can protect him, and hopefully he just doesn't get KO'd or dazed when he's trying to run in there.
Yeah, the worst part is he always gets dazed like in the first round.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like he's one of those characters that you leave outside of the skirmish, and then when things are getting heated up, that's when he flies in with his long move, does his thing, and then you get him out again.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the Matano, keeping him at range 4 with a push, he doesn't have to get all that close, and he doesn't have to get in the melee right away.
Yeah, if you're ignoring line of sight, then you could be behind stuff, get out of line of sight, and just pop from a little further away.
Right.
Yeah, you just got to take advantage of the little bodega shops that they include in the terrain, or even the tanker truck for size 3. Can't really be targeted then. Throw him behind that, and he can be throwing his baton hooks all around and protected.
Yeah. Actually, that's pretty good. Keep him in cover. That's the one thing when we've been playing, we've been not really using cover correctly. Using cover is a big deal, especially when you can get one shield out of the deal. That's.
I was going to ask you, how do you set up your terrain at your establishment?
Well, us fine gentlemen here, I just let Andrew do it.
Huh. All right, Andrew, explain your method. How do you set up your table?
I just put stuff out randomly.
You just fill it up as much as possible? Do you think like more things to throw is better?
Oh no,
especially if you're starting to bring Doc Ock, you're like, you know what, another light post or 2 would be good here.
Yeah, if I'm taking Doc Ock or Green Goblin, I am taking I'm putting a lot of
depending on his list. There's a lot of size 1 and 2 things on there, depending on what he's running. But any game we play, I mean, John, you remember like with Dead Zone, we like to, if it's 2 by 2, man, we're going to put as much terrain as we can.
Yeah, so, fill it in.
Yeah, I hate when there was one of those guys was telling us about how bad Dead Zone was, and he showed some pictures, and he literally had 3 things on the board. He had 1 square, a gate, and like I don't know, like a tree stump. And he's like, "This game is terrible." And I'm like, and I said to him, I said, listen, I don't agree with you, but you got to put more terrain on the board to make it really, because it's like a CQB type deal, going in and out of alleys and jumping on top of things and stuff. And his reaction to me was, why are you all getting on me? Why are you saying this and that? I was like, because I said to him, you're not, they were getting on him. People were hammering him. I was just like, gentleman to gentleman, I'll be honest with you. You're not playing the game correctly. You're not having enough terrain. You're not utilizing what you should use and this and that. And then he said, for a game to be good, you shouldn't have that much terrain on it. And I said, all right, it's time for me to leave the conversation. So, I just, the more the better. Plus, the only reason my printer's not going right now is because we're on this live cast. So, we just constantly printing up terrain. So why not use all of it?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the way I look at it. So the more the better. But what he'll do is we'll set up the board first with the objectives, and then put the terrain around it. Right?
Okay.
I like to do it opposite. I like to build the board and then put the.
That's how I tend to do it.
Well,
just out of curiosity, Coach, in our game, because I set up the terrain for our game last week, more or less than what you're used to.
A little bit less. So like at 80% less.
Okay.
80%. So we throw some more garbage cans and some stuff around.
I thought the garbage cans didn't count as size anything.
Well, but that's
he probably prints out his own, makes a size 1.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We agree
You can
on
put any scatter terrain if you want, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and terrain in Crisis Protocol is a little weird because you could pick up a car and then the dumpster is like the same size, or it's or a light post is a size 2, and so is a car. It doesn't.
Yeah, well, light post is 1, so I would think anything small is going to be a 1. You have your car at 2, then you have your buildings at 3, and then you have your big trucks and your large buildings at 4s, right? Or the building is like
and
3
then,
plus whatever levels.
Yeah, and then every level adds a size to it on the new apartment. That's what it seems to be.
So when you guys were using Doctor Strange's building, it was 3 tiers, right? So that was a 3, 4, so that was a 5. Because it had 2 levels above, correct?
Yep.
So that's going to be a piece of terrain that's not being demolished or destroyed. It's just staying on the field.
Yep.
So it was something you were able to use to hide. But then if you have like a tanker truck or one of those garbage trucks that's a 4, that's something that Jean Grey, I believe, she can pick up a 4 or
Cable can do it too.
Cable, Hulk, She-Hulk. So you have certain characters that can do that. But then you have those small things. So yeah, I think you could put trash cans. I think you could put trees. We put up trees on our board. And we just made those 3s.
Yeah, we use the trees all the time.
Yeah.
And then the one battle report we did, we had the river running through. We were saying it was Central Park, and just a bunch of trees and rocks and whatnot. But I also think too that if you're going to do like say a cityscape or something like that, and the buildings are there should be buildings that you can't pick up and throw. I mean, I can't see. Let's for argument's sake say the Sanctorum is a size 6, or what would it be? What would we say? It was size 5?
The one you guys were using was size
5.
Yeah, but someone's going to pick up the building and throw it. I don't.
Well, I think you're taking it literally, but I could also see it being that for somebody like the Hulk, instead of them, picking up the building and throwing it literally, they're smashing the building and you're getting hit with the debris from the building. Right. Same thing with telekinesis. You're not throwing the building at them, you're collapsing the building around them.
Right. But then we remove the building.
Yes.
So it's like, if there was a rubble pile, okay, I could.
Which I think that is 100% acceptable to home rule at that point. Anything over size 4, you keep it on the board and it counts as rubble, and now it's a size 2, for instance.
Yeah. That could be a good addition, especially they just came out with the building, right? That's their first official building. Mm-hmm. That's not like one of our 3D printed or something like that. Yeah. So I'm interested to find out what that is and how they're going to rule that out, because I think it's now released, right? We can now purchase it.
Yeah.
It's no longer on pre-order.
You're saying
I saw it on Minimart, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I just ordered one. It should be coming in a couple days. So I'm anxious to see what that is. And if it's just, like we said, like a point value of 4, 5, or 6, or does it have something where maybe there is debris to it? That would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking I'd like to do the Corvus Games thing that they had. Like I think it's $40 to get the files, and it comes with the Sanctum. It's basically supposed to be Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
I'm this close. I've said it a bunch of times, but I'm this close. But by the clock on the wall or on the computer, wherever you're looking at, it's about that time. So we want to thank you, 2 lovely gentlemen, for joining us tonight. If you would like, this could be a regular affair. If you're not busy, we will work that out. I will send the lawyer will send contracts over, and because we're very official here, very official.
I want a T-shirt. You're getting good knowledge here. I want a shirt. We gotta get that battle report going.
Battle report. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, listen, I'm okay with the rules. I have to go play a game and do a battle report to get to earn a T-shirt. I'm there.
That's one rule we had. There's only one guy got a T-shirt, and actually no, I sent one to England, but the guy gave us like $300 worth of free stuff. So, but other than that, we are suckers for free stuff. But thank you guys, and we're getting together when Monday. So we should post those pictures up all over the intrawebs and stuff, right? Yeah. You might be there.
We'll see if I will make an appearance. We will see.
I am hoping I can be there Monday.
We got to take more than one picture.
Yeah, but Jeremy, you have to come because we need somebody not to sit at the kids' table.
I'm not sure what that means.
The lower table, the one on the right.
The shame table.
Oh, so you
shame
use me
table.
for my terrain? Is that what you're saying?
I wasn't terrain. You
No,
were.
it has nothing to do with terrain.
People.
He doesn't want the unpainted models, the guys that look like this, who just sit around in their terrible gray.
Not even washed. Did you bring out a modicum of detail?
Nah, every Marvel character I have is fully painted as of right now.
I'm getting there.
Well, that's actually the second rule of battle reports. You have to have fully painted models, and then when you are in one, then you get a free T-shirt.
No problem.
John,
I can borrow Jeremy's models at any time.
I was going to say, John, if you want to borrow my models to get a free T-shirt, you know.
I'm going to need that.
But John, you got to come over and do Mortal God so we can speak Greek correctly.
In Greek?
Yes, so ancient Greek. But all right, so we're gonna have the world copyrighted exit to the podcast. It's going to be Andrew's. This is Andrew's specialty.
All right, guys. So if you liked this live stream, why don't you give this live stream a like, and also check out some of the other stuff we have on the channel. And we have 2 links in the description that you guys should check out. We have our Patreon page that helps support the channel, and we have our Discord server where you can talk to us and a bunch of other people on there. Got a bunch of great guys on there, so definitely go check that stuff out. And that's it, y'all. We'll see you next week. Stay tuned next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everybody's got a point. You got a point. You got a point. You got a point. We'll see you